So the answer ended up being negative 31 on this one. Let's go ahead and substitute in this expression. Anytime you have exponents, you have to be very careful and make sure that you put your number in parentheses. If you have exponents or you are multiplying, you need to put your number in parentheses before you do your substitution. And then we have to follow order of operations. And so order of operations tells us to do exponents first. We have 5 cubed, which is 125. 125 minus 25 is 100. So I get 100 minus 20 all over 100. And then 100 minus 20 is 80. 80 over 100 simplifies to 8/10 or 4/5. So this answer simplifies to 4/5. Let's look at this problem. We have brackets, we have parentheses, and we have a square root. Whenever you are solving a square root, that is the same level as an exponent, just so that you are aware of that. So we're going to solve this, and we're going to do the square root first. First, we're going to substitute in the 5 where the x is. And when I take the square root of 100, I get 10. So I'm going to have 2 minus 4 times 10 minus 5. Now pay very close attention to this. A lot of people would be tempted to do 10 minus 5 here, but it is the 2 minus 4 that is in parentheses. We need to simplify that first and then do the multiplication before we can subtract 5. So 2 minus 4 is negative 2. Negative 2 times 10 is negative 20. And now we can subtract 5. This was not being grouped, even though a lot of students like to subtract those two numbers first. Negative 20 minus 5 is negative 25. And a bracket is just like parentheses. It's another way of saying parentheses. So 2 times negative 25 is equal to negative 50. When we're substituting for a different value, now they're saying we're going to do all of these expressions, but we're going to substitute it for negative 5. Don't assume that your answer is just going to be the opposite. If it was all multiplication, there's a chance that your answer would be opposite, but this has a lot of operations in it, and so you have to do the substitution and you have to work it out using order of operations to find out what your answer is. So negative 18 plus negative 5 is actually negative 23. And that is not the opposite of negative 13. Let's look at problem number 5 and see what that answer ends up being. So I'm going to substitute negative 5, and I'm going to put the cubed there. That whole thing is in parentheses, minus 25, minus 20 all over 100. So negative 5 cubed is the same as saying negative 5 times negative 5 times negative 5. That ends up being 3 negatives, so that is negative 125. It is negative 125 that we are subtracting 25 from. That ends up being negative 150 minus 20 all over 100. Negative 150 minus 20 is negative 170 over 100. And then if we simplify that, it ends up being negative 17 tenths. And let's just do one more example. We will do the 2 bracket 2 minus 4 times the square root of 100 minus negative 5. And then that whole thing was in brackets. So we have to do the square root first because that's the same level as so the square root of 100 is 10. So it's 2 bracket 2 minus 4 times 10 minus negative 5. 2 minus 4 is negative 2. So it's negative 2 times 10 minus negative 5. Negative 2 times 10 is negative 20. So that is negative 20 minus negative 5. That minus negative becomes a plus. So negative 20 plus